Breaking news now, just in from President Trump and an escalation in the trade war. Trump not happy about Ontario's 25% surcharge on electricity to three states and says in response, he will be increasing the tariff on Canadian steel and aluminum, now raising it to 50%, up from 25%. Those tariffs are still set to come into effect tomorrow morning. He also says he will declare a national emergency on electricity in those three states.
It feels like the leaders are just playing a little game amongst each other, and we're just there, just collateral damage in all this. And I'm not taking any side politics or whatever. I just need to get this out. It's just like so frustrating. You know, when you hear President Trump talking about there's gonna be a little bit of turbulence. Justin Trudeau saying, we're there for you, Canadians, we're gonna go through this tough time together. Going through what together? What the hell are you talking about? They're so fucking rich. It's just regular people that are losing their jobs, seeing their hours cut off, that we're trying to go buy food and it's fucking expensive. It makes me nervous too, because the tattooing business has really quiet down. Like, it's dead. And selling prints and painting is the same thing. And I'm starting to feel the effect of all this stuff. I apologize for the shitty lighting, story of my life. It's very cloudy today. I was talking to a friend. He started losing business, coffee shop, restaurant, and he was telling me that he was having a rough time, like very rough time. And obviously what it does is it has a ripple effect. You're making less money, it's putting stress, well, mental stress, and then it's putting stress on your couple, and then it's putting stress in every sphere of your life. This is so frustrating right now. All because of those governments that are tantruming, arguing together for the greater good, sure. And saying that we're going through all of this together, to me it's complete bullshit. At the end of the day, if someone can't pay their rent, pay their bills, arguing with their spouses because of that financial pressure, you probably feel pretty damn alone in your situation. And I was discussing with that friend, and he was telling me that, you know, it had put a lot of pressure on his couple. And also he has like 2 kids of young age. That's one thing I can't relate, is I don't have kids. I'm pretty lucky in my situation. I just have myself to take care of. But the added mental charge of having a family, I can't even begin to understand how stressful that can be. But the one thing I realized while I was discussing with my friend is every sphere of his life seemed to not work. Like his life was crumbling down around him, everything he worked for so hard. He wasn't able to see the trees from the forest, or the forest from the trees, whatever that expression is. He was trying to think of that one big solution that was gonna fix everything. And it's hard when you're in that bullshit soup to figure out what to do or what to think, to just focus on that one thing. Because I think it's pretty easy to pinpoint that one thing that is the culprit of everything else falling down. Financial pressure just makes everything much harder. It just makes everything seem like it's the end of the world. And right now I think a lot of people are feeling it. This is just a big rant video. Yeah. If you have something you want to say about this whole situation, just put it in a comment. I go back to figuring out what is that thing that is putting pressure on you. Obviously, you need to fix your mental health. If you're not doing well in your head, it's gonna be hard to make the right decisions and right actions to fix things. And I go back to my friend example. The failure of the business is what put pressure on everything else. So he was telling me just the thought of opening the shop was daunting every day. And I was like, why don't you just close it? Find a job. You know, if you can't deal with the pressure, sometimes that's the thing too. It's hard to move on from something because you've been doing that something for so long, or we're holding on to that. It's gonna work out. It's gonna work out, and everything does eventually work out. Like if you think of one of the worst things that happened to you in your life and where you're at now, it seems not so bad anymore. And I've had financial hardship before, realizing that the sum of your decisions and the sum of your actions, that's exactly what puts you where you're at right now. When you know that you put yourself where you're at, it's actually good because you know that you can take yourself out of that shitty position you're in with different decisions and different actions. And a lot of people, actually, I'm gonna answer this question. A lot of people ask me, how do I make my money? Tattooing is my main thing. Then I sell prints, paintings, and I invested a lot of my money when things were doing great. And that's the thing that I think people should be learning from hard moments like this. Take it as a lesson to when things are doing good, maybe live a little bit under your means. Don't spend everything you have. And I know, I completely understand. It's a lot easier said than done because when everything is doing good, you know, you want to enjoy life. But when shit hits the fan, in your mind, you want to keep the same lifestyle, but you don't have the same income coming in. That's where, you know, investing your money or and when I say investing your money, there's many ways to do that. I invested my money in traditional market and a bunch of different things, but I invested my money in myself. 20 years ago when I opened my tattoo shop and I was buying new equipment and I was trying to make it as a tattoo artist, I was investing in myself. I wasn't investing in the market. Although, if you have a good job and you don't really feel like opening your own business or something like that, then investing your money and having a good financial planner. I wish I started that in my 20s. I've been doing that for about 10 years and it did change my life and it's relieving a lot of stress right now because of that. If you could start that in your 20s, before making money, to understand how to manage your money first, I think that's the right process. Unfortunately, a lot of people don't think about that. We don't talk about that. They don't teach us that in school. Well, they didn't in my time when I was in school. I don't know about now. But yeah, tattooing is my main income. And right now I don't have a main income. And I completely understand. That's the thing. When broccoli costs $5, a dozen eggs costs between $6 and $10. I understand that people might not want to buy a tattoo or paintings. But yeah, that's just, I have to stop watching the news. It's freaking me the fuck out right now. It's insane. It's like every day there's another bad news. And now they're talking about recession. Feels like we've been in a recession for the past 2 years. And it's funny because I have wealthy friends that were saying, oh, no, we're not in a recession. The market is better than ever. If you're rich, obviously you're not in a recession. Because if you're rich and everything slows down, the money you have aside that gives you dividend, let's say you have like $1 million, that $1 million gives you 10% dividend every year and you're making $100K a year without doing shit plus your salary, yes, you don't care that eggs are $10. I completely agree. But most people are not in that situation. So rich people are saying, oh no, we're not in a recession. No fucking kidding. But also, we have to, be honest with ourselves. How much money do we spend a year that we don't need to? If you're not rich, and we don't have those magical dividend account and all that bullshit, unfortunately, it feels so necessary now. Like to try to get out of that rat race. Like what? Are we gonna fucking work till we're 90 years old? You know what I mean? As you're getting older, you should be making the same amount of money and work less. I know it's opium thinking right now. If you're having trouble right now, you lost your job, cut hours, and you're having trouble making ends meet. Sometimes, like I was saying, we have to look at our expenses. If you're living beyond your means, when shit hits the fan and you're completely broke, it's a little bit of your fault. And I do understand the fact that, you know, you want to live a little bit, but at some point you need to find the right balance. In my mid-30s, I started to realize that, you know, calm down. I needed to calm. And again, that's what makes me a little more comfortable right now to go through that storm. And I go back to those leaders that are just like, yeah, it's gonna be turbulent a little bit. For who? For 98% of the population? 90%? The big leaders don't care. They're just playing their game and we're just collateral damage. That's what we are. Yeah, I'm pissed right now. It's hard to, I'm a positive person, but it's insane how it's so frustrating. We're just there looking at them. Oh, I'm gonna do that. Oh yeah, well, I'm gonna do that. Yeah, I'm gonna do this. For fuck's sakes. Get a grip, leaders, come on. But to end this video on a positive note, often in times when everybody feels like everything is doom and gloom and everything is going to shit, most of the time, that's because we found the bottom of the barrel. And it's only gonna go up from now. You know, hopefully the leaders can agree and, you know, really try to make things better for the people and not only for them and their friends. Trust me, things will get better. I've seen bad times, economic as well as just life. And it always seems like the worst thing that ever happened at the moment it's happening. But that's the good thing about humans is we are so adaptable. Adapt your lifestyle, make a little bit of changes here and there, and I promise things will get better. I'll see you soon.